Welcome back to your Road to Homeownership Podcast special edition. We have Todd Aichinger from Metro Roberts, and we're just celebrating over $90 million.
Yes.
$90 million in sales, sold sales.
Closed.
In your career.
Yes.
It's a huge celebration. Let me see if I got some. Oh, no, not that one. That one. 90 million. I don't know what the heck is. I don't know how to start that off. There it is. 90 million. This is the 90 million. 90 million. Woo! Celebration, man.
Yeah.
Let's cheers to this, man. Let's cheers to that. We'll grab some nice water.
Right? Johnny Carson style right there, baby.
Exactly. So before we get into your milestone, just tell me your journey. Tell me a little bit about getting into real estate. Tell me about that.
Oh, that's a long trek. So I am not one to sleep. You know, when I'm dead, that's when I'll catch up on all that. So when I was a kid, I'd run 2 or 3 like legit jobs at a time, and you know, because we were both down in Fredonia doing a little balancing and firework at the same time at one point.
Absolutely.
But like literally, my kids, we sat down and we counted. I've had 18 different jobs because, like, I kid you not, I would do 2 to 3 jobs, like not quite full time, but like legit at a time, and it all led to this being like the perfect thing for me, right? Because I learned sales, I learned to deal with people, I learned construction. You know, so when I go into a house, I look at it completely different than everybody else. Yeah. But I still have the ability to manage things and deal with the sales end and still help people say, hey, you know, that spot up there could be da-da-da-da-da. We should look into it.
Yeah.
You know, and actually, necessity being the mother of invention, I actually stumbled into this because 2006, I was selling cars. That market took a powder. I went back to driving truck and operating equipment because that was always good money. Well, that was the next thing to fall in the late, 2005, 2010. And I just happened to be talking to a buddy of mine. And he's like, listen, my sister-in-law is a horrible person. And she does really well in real estate. And he's like, you know how to sell. You know how to build a house. Why don't you do real estate? And I was like, you know what? That's what I need. Because I had 2 kids, couldn't afford daycare anymore because everything fell apart. And I was like, well, the kids can go with me to work.
Wow, that's great.
And,
yeah, that's so true.
And the funniest thing is now I get accolades from teachers. My one daughter just studied abroad in France, and I got like this cool review about her because they learned to talk to people as a kid. They would actually show houses. They were like little meerkats. They just scatter, turn on the lights, get everything prepped. And then once in a while, I'd go to say something about a room, and they would just take over because they knew what they were looking at and they knew what they were doing. And now it's paid off for them.
Yeah, it's great.
Because they weren't sheltered from anything. They weren't hidden from anything, So it's funny how it just all rolled out and worked out for us.
No, it's really good. Do you remember that first deal? And how did it go?
Oh,
you always remember that first one, right?
There's always a welcome to real estate, right?
Yeah.
So the first 2 were horrible. Like the one person, how do I say this without treading on too much, right? You know the holy rollers that tell you, oh my God, my faith is the biggest in the world. And all of a sudden, those of us who are faithful are like, hang on, this is a serpent. I need to step back. That was one of my first 2 deals. That was the first successful deal. Another one, a friend of mine was losing his house. Wife ran away with the checkbook. He didn't know. And it was that far in foreclosure. And I was just trying to save it. And the bank, even though we had a contract on it, repoed it.
Shit.
And I was like 2 or 3 weeks away from closing. So those were my first 2 deals in real estate. It's like, here, let me punch in both both eyes, right? It's just like.
So what made you kind of stick with it?
I was stubborn. B, my wife's like, listen, I was going to give it up after 18 months. I started a small brokerage. They were horrible. They didn't help me. And my wife's like, listen, you already paid for 2 years. You're 18 months into this. Just deal with the last 6 months, right? Yeah. And then, ironically, Neil, our faithful leader, came to the rescue. He's like, listen, if you can get $1 million listing in 2010 in that tchotchke brokerage, come over and work with me. I'll help you. And I ended up being in our old office. I think my year 3, I was the top agent in that office.
No kidding. Okay.
So
what was that point when you started hitting that stride and you're like, okay, this is it. This is how this is going to be a good thing. Do you remember that?
I think it was just kind of a big picture, right? Because successful people don't go paycheck to paycheck. Successful people look 3, 5, 10 years down the road, right?
Yeah.
I was looking at the big picture. I'm like, listen, I can coach my kids' soccer team and not miss anything. I'm volunteering at school, and we've got a good life for our family. I'm like, does it suck working every day except for Christmas and Easter? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But does it suck worse when you miss out on all the milestones for your kids? So that was kind of like when my wife and I realized this was all hitting and we can do all this. That was like, all right, this is it.
So was it year 1, year 2, you started hitting that stride and then you're like, okay, you felt that change happening?
I'd say year 3, because like I said, the first 2 years, my introduction to real estate was, do you have your own laptop? Yeah. All right, because here's the key to the office. And our office computer is broken. I kid you not.
Oh, shit.
And me being young and dumb, I'm like, excellent. I'm going to be successful. You know?
Going to the office.
Right. So once I got out of there and I moved on and I had a good support system or a good system around me, that's when it was just like everything fired on all cylinders.
So what kind of habits or routines you started developing those years that kind of made you successful? Because, giving you your laptop and a key and saying go, that's not helpful, right?
No.
So what happened?
Just, doing my best, being honest and following up on things, right? My parents were self-employed, so I grew up having to make our own money, right?
Yeah.
But just treating people well, and a lot of times as simple as just showing up, especially now.
Just being
Half
consistent.
these people don't show up. They don't follow up. I did an open house last night on a Thursday. Odd night, yeah. Who cares? I got 5 people through the door.
Yeah.
So today we're following up with those people.
Oh yeah.
And some people need a softer transaction. I've got one couple, they're moving south and they're like, they keep on getting the jitters. I'm like, awesome. Let's postpone this a week.
Yeah.
My kids are going to need to eat next month, next year, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not pressuring you.
Yeah.
I am here. So you give the people what they need to feel comfortable along with the proper follow-up. And life is good.
Yeah. So every journey has some hiccups and every journey has some challenges. So how did you get through that? And what were some of your challenges?
Oh, that's great. Biggest challenge is always money, right? In this business, if you don't work in it, you don't know. We don't get paid until after a closing. And I've had checks get lost in the mail. When we were broke and I was first in this business, a bank check got lost in the mail. The bank's like, we're not reissuing. For 9 months. Damn. 9 months. My wife and I had a big pucker moment. We're like, what are we doing? We are literally crushing to get this money. Yeah. Everything, the weight of the world financially was on us. I'm like, well, we're just going to have to make it happen. What other choice do you got, right?
Yeah.
And outside of money, it's funny. I mean, you live a similar lifestyle. My phone never stops going off. My wife and kids, I swear to God, if I let them take it in the backyard and shoot my phone, they would.
Yeah.
There's days where they're just like, would you turn that thing off? I'm like, do you want to stop eating?
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
You like this electricity and air conditioning, right?
It's like that fine balance you have to make, man, because you will, there are days that my phone is ringing all day, right? And there's days it's quiet. And it's, I try to take those moments and do as much as I can.
Right.
and plan something. But then when you do plan something ahead, the phone rings
Right.
again. And right before you have to go camping, vacation, whatever you have to do, it's like, okay, just hold on.
Right.
Just wait. And you're texting, you're making that phone call. Hey, buddy, just 5 more minutes. And it's a lot of that going on. But you could do a lot of other things. But yeah, that's challenging.
Yeah.
That can be
And when
challenging.
it's
Get it
quiet,
adjusted. Yeah.
the inner, I don't know what to refer to it, because most of us, we are hunters, right? We are the lions, because otherwise we wouldn't work in an industry that only is commission, right?
Yeah, you're right.
And when it's quiet, there's freak out, panic. Like I'm like, yeah, I'm sitting, I got my feet up and I got a tequila in my hand and soaking in some sun. Life is good. But that little guy in the back of my head's like, why is your phone not ringing?
Yeah, it's like you go into like, what did you do wrong?
Right.
What's going on
What
here?
did I forget?
What did I forget? Am I missing something? Because it's too quiet.
Right.
And you're like, yeah, you have a tequila, you have whatever, you're just chilling out. And then sometimes I think I have to take a step back and like, okay, this is just a relaxed day. And then the next day kicks in again. And it just reminds you, okay, you're back on track.
Right.
It's a weird thing.
It is. Because like I panic every day inside, right? And my wife and kids, they're like, you don't panic. I'm like, listen, it's all in here. The voices in my head.
Yeah, it's
Their hair's on fire and they're running in circles trying to figure out why the phone, isn't ringing.
That's interesting you say that, because I'm very like yourself. I don't show that panic on the outside. On the outside, it's totally different.
Right.
Inside, it's just a lot of noise,
Right.
going on. So
Right.
I get it.
My daughter just had a little emergency and she called me and I'm like, kid, stop, breathe. Panic never, ever helps.
And you can't make a really a right decision, a proper decision, when you are in a state of panic, worry, and you mentioned before, especially in this industry, as a commission employee, some months you have great months, other months you don't. You have to learn how to budget, right?
Right.
And then in the beginning, it's tough. And when that money situation comes up, right, you're like, okay, you just have to be calm and just stay focused. And I think that will help anyone through any type of crisis, right?
I tell my wife is the daughter of an engineer, right? I am the product of self-employment. So we are too deaf. I always joke around. I'm like, and I love her. This is not a dig, because some people have taken it that way. I'm like, I'm the drag car ripping down the runway. She's the parachute that brings me back to reality, right?
Yeah.
She slows me down so I can stop, right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to money like that, I'm just like always, I'm like, honey, they can't repossess the house. They're not going to shut anything off.
Yeah.
So we're a month late. Who cares?
Yeah.
Typically, we don't carry debt. So it's not like I worry personally about my credit score. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're going to make it.
Yeah.
The kids are going to eat. Life is still good if we miss a payment, because we'll just pay it off next month when more money comes in, so.
I feel you, man. I feel it. So tell me a little bit about your mindset, the principles that you have when you're working with your clients, because you're a very different agent, and I could just tell you, we have a client right now working together. He's out of California. His mindset is just very different. He's very LA, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He comes here and he's working with you, and it's like, no, Todd works on a different plane level. Like, but what you do is very successful, right? So what kind of mindset, and what you did with the client worked really well.
So I think it's just me and my upbringing, right? I grew up in Elma when it was back being redneck, but my mom and dad's business was like down near, at one point we were in the Larkin building, right? So I dealt with people in the city. So I got to learn from everybody. I got to see everything. So like when I sold cars, the one guy, he's funny. He was like the typical New York Italian. He was a rip. I love this dude. And he's like, I love watching you talk to people. He's like, you can sit down with an 80-year-old woman and talk to her, and then sit down with a 16-year-old kid and talk to him. It's just, you just know how to communicate, right?
Yeah.
So learning listening, talking, and learning what makes people comfortable and how they digest what you tell them is what you need to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I'm a horrible listener sometimes. I like to talk. Some people know this. But I force myself to talk in a way that people are going to give me answers and information so I can help them and I can just take care of them, right? Yeah. When we were doing a training, I had admitted that I actually studied a terrorist negotiator because he teaches you how to talk to people, to drop their guard and just give you the honest answer so you can help them. Yeah. You know, because somebody's like, well, that's kind of taking advantage of people. I'm like, how does it take an advantage of people if you get them to openly communicate? That's the best thing in the world you can do for somebody. You're helping them with the biggest thing they're going to purchase in their life. And I tell people all the time, you know, they're like, can I open this? I'm like, God, yeah. I'm like, you're buying this thing. You better know every square inch of it, you know, or at least as much of it as we can teach you. And I think that's really it. And
no, you're spot on. And this is why I brought up the guy from LA, because in LA, you're always on guard. You know, I grew up downstate, right? And you grew up in an environment that everyone's up against you. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people now, especially in this world, they have that feeling like everyone's out to get them, right? And you did a great job with him. I think you did. You say you didn't listen a lot, but I think you did listen. And I
have a problem listening because I listen well, but I want to talk.
You want to talk,
and I'm
right?
just like, shut up, man.
Yeah. but you know, you did a great job with him. His guard dropped down. He literally had to come meet me as well. His guard dropped a little bit more. He got to know us and how we work, and we're at the end of the day, we want to help him. And he and people kind of could smell bullshit, right?
Oh yeah,
right. And but when you come from a place like that, it really helps. And you do a great job with that.
Thank you.
And how does it feel now? Over $90 million and closed.
I'm at almost 96 written, and I got another 6 in the hopper.
Damn, man. How does that feel, man? That must feel. Hold on. That's how it feels. Right?
You want to know the honest answer?
Yeah.
How am I going to get to 100 before the end of the year? My head is just, it's a game to me.
Yeah.
You know, my wife, God bless her, I call her for numbers, right? Because she's got the house, both the business and the house, like all the back end, she's got it locked down.
Yeah, it's good.
Me, I'm like, where's the next kill? What can I do to be more successful today? What can I do to help somebody? And to go back to our California guy, I think the most important part for both of us is we're actually teachers. Because this guy's like, I don't know the system. I'm like, cool, because I'm a teacher. I'm not a salesman. Yeah, I'm here. I'm thrilled that you don't know, because it gets me to talk, refresh, remember, and utilize our knowledge. And I think that's so overlooked in our industry because there's so many desperate people that need a paycheck.
Yeah, you're right. And when you come from an education point and you're there, so hey, listen, the more educated the buyer is, the better the transaction will go. And they feel comfortable. They understand what's going on. And I spoke to him for a good 45 minutes, an hour in the office, which, we went through quite a bit. And he asked a lot. Even though he purchased homes before, he just had a lot of questions on how it's done here. He felt a little bit more comfortable. And when he was out there, he felt okay putting an offer in and going down that path. So education is such a key point. How does this accomplishment, how does that make you feel personally or professionally?
That's an interesting question, actually. I think the best moment in life for me as a realtor, this is going to be probably a weird statement. When I bought dinner when we were in Florida visiting my parents, right? Because my old man, I love him, but I always told him to write a book because he had a million business ideas. I'm like, Dad, I can retire off of you if you would just put a business book together, right? Because he was great at that, right? And then he's been gone, I think we're working on 8 years now, right? So this is probably 9 or 10 years ago. I took him out to dinner and I had to excuse myself from the table. And I come back, he's like, I got dinner. I'm like, no, you don't. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I had to walk away to close the deal. And he's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I had to sell a house. He's like, it's Saturday night at whatever. I'm like, I know. But then I, pulled out my calculator. I'm like, that's the commission I just made. He's like, you're buying dinner, And I think that was just one of those things because you could see as parents, I could see my father like decompress, like, oh, he's going to be okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I guess it really wasn't about me. It was about, seeing your parents be like, all right, I didn't screw this kid up, right?
Yeah.
He's never been arrested. He does good things. I did okay,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Because it's funny because I tease my kids all the time. And the gym we used to work out at, we were doing a competition. And my kid was probably 15 at that time. And the coach looks at my daughter, and I got to remember, he's like, don't disappoint me. Don't disappoint yourself. And for God's sake, don't disappoint your parents. Yeah. And then pushed her out to what she had to do, And I'm like, oh, thank God I'm not the only one that talks like that to the kid, Yeah. And again, they're good kids. I feel good as a parent. So I think that's the big win. It's not me. It's not this business. It's who's next?
Yeah. So through this journey, any particular person, people you like to thank or recognize that helped you through this journey, hitting this milestone?
Well, I would say there's a long list of them, right? Like my buddy Jeremy, who told me about his horrible ex-sister-in-law, because if he never had said that, I wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be talking, right? My parents installed a work ethic in me. My wife has dealt with this, right? Jim Roberts does fantastic stuff for us, right? Yeah. People don't know we're like franchisees. We actually pay to go to work. He does such good things in the community. If I'm giving somebody my money, I want it to be somebody like him. Yeah. Because I know he appreciates what we do. He appreciates Western New York as a community. He gives back, right? Yeah. So again, if somebody's going to charge me to go to work, I want somebody like that to have my money, right? Yeah. And Neil Garrity will yell at me if I don't give him props too, right?
Yeah,
because he's the one that's like, leave that company, come over here and work with me. I'm like, okay. And he's dealt with a lot of stuff because, if we had an HR department, there'd be a stack of stuff to chat with, So
that's funny.
Yeah, love to harass Neil. Neil's love Neil.
Cool. What advice would you give agents that are looking to level up or eventually have, hitting almost $100 million in sales? You're over 90 million. You're going to hit 100. What kind of advice you would give the new agents coming in?
Just A, be consistent. B, show up. And treat everybody like it's I was blessed. I got a good mother-in-law, right? So treat everybody like it's your mom, your mother-in-law, your grandmother, whoever. Yeah. Right? Because we've all had an experience where we either, want to call or we call somebody out because of something they've done to one of our loved ones, right? Mm-hmm. I never want to be on that end of a call, right? I love my referrals. I can't tell you the last time I paid for an ad. Literally, I cannot tell you. I have not. I just now, after 5 years of being with Metro about that, I think I finally gave away my last card that Jim bought me when I got here.
Oh, wow.
I don't.
Wow.
I just don't, right?
Yeah.
Because I think if you do a job right, people just want to tell people about, oh, you're going to sell a house? Oh, my God. Todd did whatever. I mean, I've fixed septics. I patch holes in walls. I fix sump pumps. I run and get titles. I've called for insurance. I have value, and I prove my value by helping, by going the extra mile, right?
Yeah.
And I guess don't be afraid to give back, right? Yeah. Like last week you were busy and couldn't go on the boat, but every year I throw 3 or 4 parties. And yes, that's a little bit of advertising, but for me, I just love getting to see people, right? Yeah. Forcing people to get a babysitter and have a night out, right? Because there's a lot of times we didn't do it because maybe we didn't have money for all of it. But at my events, first couple cocktails are on me. Usually the food or the boat, whatever, is on me. Yeah. So your date night is pretty damn cheap, right?
Yeah.
I just want to get people smiling and having a good day.
Yeah, that's cool.
And in the end, usually throughout the year, those events will give me 1 or 2 sales, but it keeps my name in front of people in a good way.
Yeah, and you're having fun.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
That's
right.
all.
That's what I'm here for.
So what's next? What's next, man?
What's next?
Yeah.
Well, God only knows I love me a trip to the Keys, but
all right.
Iceland sounds pretty good too. Client events, I actually might. A friend of ours is having an anniversary at their bar restaurant, so I might do that. And then in the fall, I always do my famous pie party the Sunday before Thanksgiving. I give away pies and cocktails because I don't know. Yeah. Apparently my liver likes cocktails, so we got to make sure it's taken care of, right?
So what's next in your career? 5 years. 5 years from now.
5 years from now, probably be licensed in multiple states because I'm waiting to see what the kids are going to do, right?
Yeah.
2 kids could be out of college in 5 years, and where they're going to live, I'd like to migrate back and forth because, like we've talked money, right? If you handle your money properly and you're blessed, you can, like literally, I could fly down to Florida. I could do it today and help somebody and then fly back in 2 days. Yeah. So I think that's going to be the next thing is find out where the kids land and start conquering another state.
Got it. Okay.
Right?
That sounds
It'll probably be a title state with my luck. So then I've got to learn both processes, right?
Yeah, most likely a title state.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's cool. It's cool.
That's cool, right?
Right. As long as it's not online learning, I'm in, baby. I hate online learning.
All right, man. I have some 5 fun questions. Ready?
All right. Fire away.
Fire away. Okay. If you were in real estate, what will you be doing right now?
If I wasn't in real estate, honestly, if I could make good money and provide for my family, I'd sell heavy equipment. Because, man, I miss driving trucks and operating equipment. Yeah. There's a reason they call them big boy toys. They are a rip to run. I love excavators, dozers, all that stuff.
Yeah, who doesn't, man? That's just fun, man.
Right? Let's just tear it up, baby. All
right, so what is your dream vacation spot?
Oh, God. I don't know if I got an answer to that because I watch too many of them damn food shows, right? I was watching somebody feed Phil and something. I'm trying to remember what the other one was. Guy's got a beard. He's doing a show with Martha Stewart right now. But just seeing the food culture, like I'd love to get back under 260, but man,
it's not happening, right?
Probably no. I gotta get over to France and have like a legit croissant, like one of the monsters the size of a football I've seen. I need that.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
So maybe France.
Maybe
get some croissants.
Well, listen, I got to go next June because I am chaperoning with the Iroquois School District, a Europe trip. So I'll be over there for 14 days watching kids.
Okay.
Right. So I'm going to get a croissant, baby.
You better get one. What is your guilty pleasure TV show or movie that you don't want to admit, but you have to?
That's pretty funny. Because if you ask Karen and the kids, I don't watch a lot of TV. Okay. But I will say, like, if Shawshank Redemption is on and I'm clicking through.
That's a good one. That's a classic.
Yeah, baby. Get busy living or get busy dying.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
That's my end. I'm going to be on the beach like they are in the end. I'm shoeless, just serving drinks somewhere. That's my retirement plan. I'm not going to stop working. I'm just going to do different working.
What is your favorite food spot?
Lately, Bratz Hill down in Larkinville. That Chef Darian guy for the Bills.
Jamaican food? Is that Jamaican?
It's
like a
it's
Caribbean flavor?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Dude, oxtail. Yeah. I mean, they've got normal food. Don't freak out if you're not adventurous like me. My wife's like, you and your brother Mark should go on The Amazing Race. Because between the two of you idiots, you'll eat anything or do anything. So,
have you ever had udon, the sea urchin?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I would.
Oh yeah. So my son, we were in Mexico, right? And we were snorkeling and we found these sea urchins. He's like, "Oh, yummy! You crack it open and you eat it." I tried it.
Not for you.
Not for me. But you definitely have to try that.
Oh,
if you're
yeah.
You get it in a Japanese restaurant or something like that, you can find it.
Yeah.
So check it out. So, okay, last question. What is your pump-up song before like a showing, before the gym? What are you listening to?
So that is funny. So I listen to a ton of Jimmy Buffett to the point where it probably nauseates my wife and kids.
You working out with that?
But so here's why it's funny, right? I will put on something incredibly intense, dancing or whatever.
Oh.
And I will try to do like meditation, like reverse. So then if I go to lift something heavy, now don't get me wrong, I do CrossFit and that's no secret. And they'll tell you if there's a little AC/DC or something on, you might get an extra 20 pounds on my back pretty easy, right?
Okay.
But I try to reverse engineer it because I'm one of those dipsticks that does the ice baths and all that. So I like messing with my brain. I'm not going to lie. So, yeah, a lot of times I'll go to do something intense, but I'll put the opposite music on. Just
I have to try that.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
Listen.
Put some Cyndi Lauper on something.
Whatever you got to do. I don't care if you're listening to Jose Cuervo from back in the 70s by that one by June Newton, not Juice Newton. What the heck was her name? I can't now I got to look it up. No.
Do you know what they call kids now, 13, 14-year-old kids? My son, they're calling music from like the early 2000s, rock music. They're calling dad rock. Yeah. So we're going to see Korn and Systems of a Down coming up in MetLife, and they call it dad rock. You can go see some dad rock music.
That's almost as disturbing as when I heard Guns N' Roses on Oldies 104 or whatever. I'm like, hang on, I know I'm an old man, but
what the heck? Right? How's Guns N' Roses on Oldies?
Right,
It's
right.
crazy. I know, right? Did you have fun?
Absolutely.
All right, man. Well, thank you for coming on. You can tell everyone how did they get a hold of you?
Well, they can either just call or text 716-912-8684. Yeah. GoToddy.com. Because, GoDaddy was so damn, successful. I was like, well, GoToddy probably had a bad kickoff of that, right?
No kidding.
And, hashtag Barefoot Realtor 716 is.
Yeah. Well, congratulations for this huge milestone, man.
Thank you.
Over 90 million, hitting almost 100 soon. You're kicking some ass, man. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, good stuff. Cheers to
Hopefully we can be back before the end of the year and we'll talk about Hundo.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, bro.
Yeah, man.